My name is Buddy Bramwell. I'm the councillor for the Joint Walvis Bay Residents Association. I have lived in Walvis Bay for most of my life, and I'm very proud of Walvis Bay, but it seems to have fallen on dire times, and we are trying to improve it. The budget is there for the simple purpose of running the town. And they run the town for the money that gets taken in by rates and taxes and services which are rendered like sewerage and fresh water. And the budget should balance every year. The municipal budget was passed in council, and I had my dissenting vote in the management committee, and I also said my piece in the council chamber. I've had this battle ongoing for 4 years now. Well, from the first day I saw a budget put up on the screen, I couldn't figure it out with the figures that they put up there and what has happened in the actual capital expenditure and the operating expenses. And I said then, this is not a fair reflection of a budget. A budget, you see what you're going to get in, how much money you're going to get in, and then you find out how you're going to spend this. And if you're going to sit there in your little office and work it out all on your own and not ask any opinions of what is going on in town, it's not a budget. Your budget must be discussed with the public. What does the public want? You're the residents. You're paying all this money, but you're not getting what you're paying. There's no value for what the money that goes in. The services must be there. Obviously, the operating budget must go on. But for the figures that they put up there, it just didn't make sense to me. And I said, I don't approve it. I don't approve it at all. Okay. We're 10 councillors. I'm one. So that's 10% that doesn't approve it. Fortunately, I even had somebody assist me on this last year. So there's 20% that didn't like it. But the book was still handed over as a sort of a symbol. Here's this year's budget. It was in the newspaper. Everybody's, good heavens, 1.8 or 1.3 billion. But it's just, as I say, it's figures on a sheet of paper. It doesn't mean a thing, really. That's my take on it. And I'm not a financial expert, but I would like a financial expert to have a good look at it and see where the holes are. But they have the notion that by putting up a lot of big figures on a wall, on a screen, they're impressing everybody by the amount of money that's available. The difference between the capital and the operating side of the budget is that the capital expenditure is for the projects that we have on the books that we want to carry out, like a new sewerage plant, like complete overhaul of all the roads in Walvis, like beautifying the town, just improving the service right through. That's all on the capital side. But on the operational side, you have the daily running expenses of every service that you're providing, be it water, sewerage, and as you go along, you have to keep it up to a standard. So the income of the municipality is made up of rates and taxes. Sewerage, you pay for X amount of sewerage per earth. You must pay your water as well. But it doesn't seem that we ever have enough money. Not for the last 10 years, because if you've only spent 10–15% of your capital budget, then there wasn't any money to fill up the rest and do the capital projects that you want to do. If you look at the figures on the budget, there is a budget for the roads, there is a budget for the sewage pipes, there is a budget for things like that. But it doesn't seem to be spent. It's just there on a piece of paper. We don't see the concrete plans of this is going to happen. It impacts the man on the street because every dollar that he pays for his services should be going to service delivery and the maintenance of the infrastructure, and not just squandered on the pipelines in the town are 60 years old and they're all collapsing slowly. The pump stations are in dire need of repair and haven't had much attention paid to them. We're sitting with a problem, and you can't just click your fingers and the whole problem disappears. You can start by planning ahead to see how you're going to fix it, but it won't take 5 years, it'll more likely take 10 years. When we came into council in the 2020, we asked, now, what are you doing about the road? Because it rained in January that year, and we asked them, are you going to fix the potholes? How many teams do you have to fix potholes? No, nobody was really forthcoming on that, but they did tell us they had a traffic master plan. Now we finally traced this traffic master plan. It was lying in the engineer's office, and this traffic master plan was drawn up in 2015. This is now 2020, where we discovered this thing. And if you look at that, every single road in this town, and every intersection and every point where there's a problem was identified, and there was a way forward of how you could fix it. So a big part of that is also maintenance, which has been neglected for so long that we end up with 5 compactor trucks all broken at the same time. And now we're hiring trucks in, and we're doing all kinds of funny things to just move the rubbish out of town. But it should be that all the trucks are running all the time. And now we have to put out a lot of money just to buy new trucks. And the 10, 15 years that nothing has been done to the roads and the water lines and the sewerage is catching up on us, and it's all coming to a head at the same time. We haven't had an internal auditor in this municipality for the last 15 years. I put in a motion for an internal auditor. The answer was no, it's very expensive. It might be very expensive, but if you think of the money that we're losing by a budget like this, the remuneration for the employees, 500 of them, is running at 20 million a month. And it's a big chunk out of the budget. It has been escalating for the last 10, 20 years for the simple reason there is no performance management system in place. So if they decide they need a 5% increase, everybody in the whole system gets a 5% increase. There is no incentive to work harder. Now I asked for this, and it's going on 2 years now, and it still hasn't been implemented or even a start made to implement it. We want everybody in this town to take more civic responsibility, to attend council meetings, to find out who the councillors are in this town, to support them, and if they can, just add their weight to decisions to let them go the right way and not the wrong way.